Have you ever wondered what true luxury feels like when it isn't trying to impress anyone? Not the kind that shouts with shiny grills, flashy logos, or roaring engines, but the kind that whispers, the kind that doesn't need to prove itself because it already knows what it is. If you stay with this video till the end, you'll discover how the 2026 Toyota Century doesn't just break the mold, it redefines what power and prestige really mean in today's automotive world. Because here's the truth. Most luxury cars are built to attract attention, but the Century, it's built for those who don't need it, and that's what makes it rare. The Toyota Century has always been Japan's quiet answer to Western opulence. While other luxury brands battle for dominance through aggressive designs and high-performance bragging rights, the Century takes a completely different route. It doesn't scream status. It embodies it. In psychological terms, this taps directly into what behavioral researchers call stealth wealth. This is a mindset where the most powerful individuals choose understatement over attention. They prefer quality that's felt, not flaunted. And the Century was designed around that exact principle. Unlike other flagships that chase trends, the Century was never meant for mass appeal. In fact, the original model was only available in Japan for decades, reserved for elite government officials, CEOs, and even members of the imperial family. Every unit was hand-assembled with meticulous care, not rushed, not automated. Human attention, every step of the way. And here's where it gets fascinating. According to consumer psychology, humans perceive rarity and craftsmanship as markers of true value. When something is limited, personal, and quietly superior, it builds a deeper emotional connection. That's why car lovers don't just admire the Century, they respect it. It represents more than luxury. It symbolizes discipline, restraint, and mastery. Even the design language of the Century is intentional. The body is long and formal with straight lines that command dignity. The headlights are shaped with a signature that hasn't changed much over the years because it doesn't need to. The emblem isn't even a Toyota logo. It's a phoenix, Japan's symbol of rebirth and strength. That's a message, not a design. It tells you, this car plays by different rules. Now imagine this, you're walking through a quiet private showroom, no music, no noise. Just you and the Century in complete silence. You touch the door handle. It's cool. Heavy, real metal. You open the door and it closes with a deep cushioned thud, no vibration, no echo. That sound alone sends a message to your brain: security, quality, calm. This is psychological engineering. The Century is not just a car, it's an experience designed to engage the senses in a way that makes your mind slow down. In a world where attention is always being pulled in every direction, this car creates space. And that space makes you feel in control. According to neuroscience, humans associate control with confidence. That's why cars that make you feel calm, quiet, and powerful all at once create deeper satisfaction than those that just offer speed or features. Toyota understood this decades ago. And the 2026 Century continues this same philosophy, with even more refinement. But here's the twist. This new model brings something unexpected to the table. It still honors the old values of quiet luxury, but now it carries an edge. A slightly more modern, bold stance. The proportions are stronger, the lines are cleaner. But it doesn't sacrifice subtlety, it simply evolves, gently but deliberately. It's not trying to look younger, it's trying to look timeless. And that's exactly why the psychology of car enthusiasts is drawn to it. Research shows that we don't just fall in love with cars based on looks, we connect with what they represent. The Century represents authority without arrogance, prestige without noise. That's why real car lovers, those who understand engineering, legacy, and design, gravitate toward vehicles like this. Because they know something deeper. True luxury doesn't chase attention, it commands it without trying. So, as we explore more about the 2026 Toyota Century in this video, you'll begin to see how every detail, from its engine to its interior philosophy, is built to satisfy not just your senses, but your mind. And if you've ever felt like most modern cars are just louder versions of the same idea, this one will make you think again. Stick with us till the end, and you'll discover not just a car, but a mindset, a symbol, and a quiet revolution in what luxury driving means today. When a car like the Century is built on silence and dignity, its performance cannot be loud. It must be deliberate, smooth, and absolute. The 2026 Toyota Century doesn't chase numbers on a spec sheet. It delivers something far more refined, power you don't hear, but power you feel with certainty in every motion. This is where engineering meets emotion. Every component under the hood is designed to give you effortless dominance without disrupting the stillness that defines the car's identity. At the heart of the new century lies a 3.5-liter V6 plug-in hybrid system. But this isn't about fuel savings or government incentives. It's about total control. When paired with high-torque electric motors, the system produces over 400 horsepower, but you won't feel it the way you expect. There's no sudden jolt, no aggressive kick. Instead, it's a clean surge forward, steady, silent, and composed. That's intentional. Because luxury performance isn't about shocking the body, it's about soothing the mind while still moving with authority. From a psychological standpoint, this kind of performance satisfies a deeper human desire. It's called predictive control, the feeling that the car is always one step ahead of you. Drivers experience less stress and more confidence when acceleration, braking, and steering respond exactly how they expect. The Century is built around this principle. It learns your habits. It smooths out your imperfections. It allows you to feel like you're gliding through reality with zero resistance. The advanced suspension system plays a crucial role. Toyota integrated an electronically controlled air suspension that reads the road in real time. Bumps vanish, vibrations dissolve. It's not just comfort, it's engineered detachment. It creates a barrier between the outside world and your inner state. According to cognitive science, reducing physical stressors like sound and vibration also reduces mental fatigue. This is why long drives in the Century feel like meditative experiences, not exhausting journeys. Engineers also devoted extreme attention to noise cancellation.
The cabin is sealed with triple-layer insulation.
The underbody is shaped to reduce wind noise. The tires are specially developed to absorb road sound without sacrificing grip. Combined with a silent hybrid powertrain, this creates an atmosphere where you're not just driving, you're floating. The silence isn't emptiness, it's presence. It sharpens your focus. It gives your thoughts room to breathe. Even the way the vehicle starts is psychological. There's no roar, no drama, just a gentle activation. It reminds you that you're in control, not the machine. Everything about the driving experience is calibrated to lower the heart rate, reduce noise fatigue, and make you feel calm yet in command. In human behavior studies, this state is called relaxed alertness, an ideal mental zone where people feel safest, sharpest, and most in control. The Century holds you in that space from start to finish. Speed isn't the goal, grace is, but that doesn't mean it's slow. The electric torque delivers instant responsiveness when needed, especially during overtakes or uphill climbs, but the power is filtered, smoothed, tamed. This creates what luxury psychologists call restrained dominance. It's the ability to command the road without challenging it. And that, for elite drivers, is more satisfying than brute force. Transmission behavior is equally refined.
The eCVT doesn't chase quick shifts or hard gear changes.
It prioritizes fluidity. The response is linear, progressive, and confidence-building. It feels like the car understands not just your actions, but your intentions. And that's where the real luxury lies.
Not just in the mechanics, but in the car's ability to make you feel known.
Toyota also added new driving modes that align with the emotional needs of the driver. There's no sport mode screaming for attention. Instead, there's a Comfort Plus mode that adapts to your environment, measuring cabin conditions, adjusting ride quality, and even fine-tuning throttle sensitivity based on how tense or relaxed your driving patterns appear. This is machine intelligence meeting emotional awareness, not just reading inputs, but responding to your state of mind. The braking system supports this harmony. It's regenerative, smooth, and highly intuitive. You don't feel jerks or resistance. Instead, the car decelerates like a private jet on a perfect runway, confident, controlled, unbothered. Every input you give the car is met with an elegant response, not a mechanical reaction. And that's what connects with enthusiasts on a deeper level. There's a psychological reason behind all this effort. Humans are more emotionally attached to machines that feel alive, those that adapt, respond, and create a relationship with the user. That's what the Century offers. It doesn't just move with you, it moves for you. And in doing so, it builds trust. Trust is rare in modern machines. And when a car earns it through experience, not branding, you remember it. This is why the Century isn't just a technical marvel, it's an emotional one. The engineering is silent, but the effect is powerful. It doesn't ask to be driven fast. It invites you to drive with intention. And for those who truly understand cars, that invitation is more valuable than any 0 to -60 number. This car doesn't compete with others. It competes with chaos, and it wins by delivering peace, presence, and precision in every motion. The kind of motion that doesn't just move your body, it moves your mind. True luxury doesn't start with features. It starts with how a space makes you feel the moment you enter it. The 2026 Toyota Century understands this better than most. Its interior isn't designed to impress the eyes first. It's designed to calm the nervous system. Everything inside is intentional, created to shift your state of mind from the instant the door closes. The feeling is not one of being in a vehicle, it's the feeling of stepping into a sanctuary. The first thing you notice is the silence, not just the absence of noise, but the presence of stillness. According to environmental psychology, the design of a space deeply affects how our brain processes safety and control. The Century's interior uses this knowledge masterfully. From the texture of the fabrics to the layout of the panels, it's built to reduce stimulation and increase psychological comfort. Toyota didn't use leather for status. They chose wool for function and feeling. Wool breathes. It regulates temperature. It absorbs sound more effectively. It feels warm in winter and cool in summer. It invites softness without screaming excess. This choice taps into the Japanese concept of shibui, beauty and subtlety, luxury that doesn't try too hard. In psychology, this appeals to a deeper level of emotional intelligence. It rewards those who notice the quiet details others overlook. Every surface inside the Century is designed to be touched, not just seen. The buttons are damped with perfect pressure. The switches glide with gentle feedback. The armrests and center panels have a natural softness that the skin recognizes instantly. Sensory psychology shows that when textures feel natural and warm, the human body releases calming signals. This is why every inch of the Century's interior helps lower physical and mental stress, even in traffic. Rear seat comfort isn't treated as a secondary experience. In fact, the rear is where the Century focuses its full philosophy. The back seats recline into a nearly flat position. A built-in ottoman rises to support your legs. Massage functions activate through soft invisible controls. The center armrest conceals hidden trays, climate settings, and multimedia controls, but only reveal themselves when gently prompted. This is the psychology of anticipation, what the Japanese call omotenashi, a form of hospitality where your needs are met before you speak them. Ambient lighting is tuned to a spectrum that supports relaxation. Not bright whites, not flashy LEDs, just soft glows that align with circadian rhythms, supporting balance and harmony. Clinical studies show that light temperature has a direct effect on mood and heart rate. By choosing warm, adaptive lighting, the Century ensures the cabin is always emotionally regulated. There are no intrusive screens screaming for your attention. The information is available but discreet. Only what's necessary is shown. Only when it's needed. This isn't minimalism for aesthetics, it's intentional design for mental clarity. Cognitive overload is a real issue in today's world. Too many options, visuals, and alerts increase anxiety. The Century's interface is calm, quiet, and selective, giving you back your mental space. Even the fragrance in the cabin is engineered. Toyota uses cabin filtration and optional scent diffusers that subtly refresh the air without overwhelming it. Research in aromatology, the science of scent and emotion, shows that neutral, clean smells enhance perceived quality and reduce mental fatigue during long drives. Most drivers never consciously notice this, but their mood improves, attention sharpens, and relaxation deepens. That's the power of invisible luxury. Storage is hidden in plain sight. Compartments open with a slight push. Panels slide without sound. Everything is close, but not cluttered. This spatial design is based on control psychology, the idea that people feel more powerful and relaxed when their environment is easy to predict and navigate. The Century doesn't overwhelm you with choices. It gently offers solutions when you reach for them. Materials matter deeply here. Wood trims are not lacquered to a glossy shine. They are matte, natural, warm to the touch. The grain is hand-selected, the patterns flowing organically. Glass panels are finished to be fingerprint resistant. Seat cushioning uses pressure distribution foam to reduce fatigue on longer rides. Toyota studied the posture of thousands of drivers and passengers to refine angles, tilt, and height, because a small shift in alignment affects circulation, comfort, and alertness. But the Century doesn't use these details to brag. It simply lets you feel them. The psychological reward comes from discovery. When you find something thoughtful without being told, your brain releases a small surge of dopamine, the same neurochemical linked to trust and connection. Over time, this creates emotional loyalty to the car itself. It becomes more than a machine. It becomes a space that knows you. Even the sound system is tuned for serenity. Speakers are positioned not just for volume but for immersion. The frequencies are adjusted to match the shape of the cabin and the materials used. Sound flows rather than attacks. Whether it's music, voice, or silence, you're always in control of your audio environment. That matters, because audio comfort affects emotional regulation. The Century turns sound into a tool for peace. This interior isn't about showing wealth, it's about experiencing peace. And in a world that rewards overstimulation, that peace becomes the most valuable luxury of all. The 2026 Century creates a rare kind of silence, the kind that allows the mind to rest, the body to relax, and the soul to settle. No distractions, no noise, just presence. This is what car lovers seek when they've outgrown speed and flash. They want to feel respected by the car. They want the space to feel like it understands them. And with the Century, that's exactly what they get. Let me know when you want the final section, and I'll complete it with the same deep focus and emotional rhythm. In a market overflowing with noise, speed, and digital overstimulation, the 2026 Toyota Century doesn't ask for your attention. It earns it through quiet strength. Every part of its existence, from its reserved styling to its psychologically tuned interior, is a direct rejection of the modern obsession with excess. It reminds the world that real power doesn't scream. It simply is, and that alone makes it one of the most important vehicles of this era, not just for car lovers, but for those who understand what true luxury really means. The Century's message is simple yet profound. Luxury is not about competition, it's about confidence. It doesn't need to outshine rivals with tech gimmicks or futuristic dashboards. It doesn't rely on artificial intelligence to pretend to understand you. Instead, it applies emotional intelligence, real time-tested principles that make people feel seen, respected, and at peace inside a moving machine.
This emotional design is why the Century connects deeply with a specific kind of individual.
The kind who values presence over performance, simplicity over stimulation, depth over drama. Psychology confirms that as people grow in success, their relationship with status symbols changes. They move from external validation to internal affirmation. They no longer buy cars to prove something to the world. They choose them to reflect the peace they've already achieved. That's why the Century doesn't need aggressive styling, loud exhausts, or exaggerated branding. It was never built for the spotlight. It was built for those who've already outgrown it. In a world where most luxury cars are chasing the same formula, bigger screens, faster acceleration, louder designs, the Century takes a contrarian path. And in doing so, it becomes more than a car. It becomes a philosophy on wheels. It tells you that true mastery lies in restraint, that elegance isn't in what you show, it's in what you hold back. Even its availability reflects this truth. The Century is not mass-produced for global markets, it's rare by design. Toyota could have marketed it more aggressively. They could have rebranded it to fit Western expectations, but they didn't. They kept it pure. That decision reflects integrity, an increasingly rare trait in today's commercial automotive world. And when a company demonstrates that kind of focus, it resonates with enthusiasts on a deeper level. It tells them this car wasn't built for everyone. It was built for those who know. Luxury car buyers, especially seasoned ones, don't just buy for function. They buy for meaning, for emotion, for alignment with their own values. And the Century delivers that alignment in full. It doesn't distract. It doesn't try to be something it's not. It offers a space where everything is exactly as it should be. No more, no less. This kind of psychological balance is rare, and car lovers who are emotionally intelligent recognize it immediately. There's also a generational shift at play. Younger luxury buyers are more conscious. They want sustainability, but not at the cost of experience. They want innovation, but only when it serves a purpose. The Century's hybrid powertrain meets this demand perfectly. It proves that progress doesn't need to be loud to be effective. It shows that evolution is more powerful than disruption. And that's a message people are now ready to hear. When you look at the Century from the outside, nothing seems rushed. The proportions are calm. The surfaces are smooth. There are no unnecessary curves, no artificial aggression. This visual serenity is not just design, it's a cue. It triggers a psychological response: safety, stability, timelessness. Studies in design psychology show that humans are drawn to symmetry, proportion, and softness when they seek comfort. The Century embodies all three, not through trend chasing, but through wisdom. This vehicle doesn't demand excitement. It rewards presence. It doesn't impress with tricks. It persuades through truth. That's why when someone steps into a Century, they often fall silent. Not because there's nothing to say, but because the experience says it all. The materials, the acoustics, the motion. It creates a complete sensory moment. And the more time you spend inside, the more you begin to feel like this is how a car should make you feel. It's also why the Century holds such deep symbolic weight in Japan. For decades, it's been trusted to carry prime ministers, emperors, and elite executives, not because of horsepower, but because of honor. It represents consistency, integrity, and dignity. Even the hand-built production process reflects this. Craftsmen in Toyota's Takumi division don't work on assembly lines. They work on one car at a time, by hand, with full focus. Because in the world of the century, quality isn't measured in speed, it's measured in care. And in 2026, that kind of care is revolutionary. Because we live in a world that moves fast, builds fast, and burns out fast. The Century does the opposite. It slows down, it listens, it lasts. And that makes it more than just a car. It becomes an anchor in a chaotic age. A symbol of silent strength. A reminder that there is still a place in the world for precision, respect, and emotional depth. That's why the 2026 Toyota Century is not just exclusive and powerful in name, it is exclusive and powerful in essence. It's the kind of car that doesn't just move you through space. It moves you through mindset. It invites you to disconnect from distraction, reconnect with what matters, and drive not to escape, but to return to yourself. For those who understand, no further explanation is needed. And for those who don't, no explanation will ever be enough.